Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I try to show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantries to make hopefully well-balanced, well-rounded meals. As a family, we generally eat low carb because my husband and I have to for health reasons, and as the sole cook in the house, it is easier for me to just make one meal than to try to short order cook it. But sometimes you'll see variations to that, and I'll explain as we go. So tonight is Monday night, and I made the chicken that we were supposed to have on Saturday, and we went to that community event instead, and I just baked this with some herbs and salt on it. I bake it low and slow, not super low. I bake it at 375 for about 2 hours, which I know sounds ridiculously long, but as you can see, it means that it is fall apart. It is juicy, it's got crispy skin, it's delicious. So it's worth the time that it takes to do that. While that was in the oven, I also put in one of the huge spaghetti squash that we just got from the mobile food pantry today. You will have seen that video already. And I just baked it until it was done, and then you shred it out with a fork. And then I sprinkled on the same herb seasoning that I put on the chicken, salt, some garlic powder, and then I sprinkled on some sharp cheddar cheese and put it back in the oven just so that the cheese could melt and everything could kind of hang out together. So it's kind of just cheesy spaghetti, and I'm not complaining about that. Also, while the oven was on, we got blueberries from that mobile food pantry, and so I wanted to go ahead and use some of those up, and my kids needed some more breakfast baked goods in the freezer because we're running low. So I went ahead and made almost 4 dozen blueberry muffins. And they look kind of weird color-wise because I did part white flour, part wheat flour, and part zucchini flour, which is, we had an overabundance of zucchinis this summer because we always overplant. Oops. And so you dehydrate them and then you grind it into a powder, and you can use it in place of up to 1/3 of the flour in your recipes. And my kids, when I first started doing it, they were kind of like, this tastes funny, but now they don't have any problem with it, and it just kind of is like a blueberry zucchini muffin. So I made 3 dozen of those with this, and obviously I just won't eat those tonight, and that's not a big deal for the low carb aspect. And then we also got 4 gigantic, beautiful heads of lettuce from that mobile food pantry. So we're going to do some salad, just simple. I've pulled out like raisins and some nuts and different things to throw on it. And I have salad dressings, like 4 different kinds of salad dressing because I love salad. So I will let the kids pick and choose whatever they want for toppings. So it ended up being, generally making a whole chicken, you think of it being a hard, complicated meal, but it was actually quite easy. And I washed dishes and made muffins and did several other things while making dinner, while that 2 hours was, that chicken was in the oven. So yeah, that is dinner for Monday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Tuesday night, and tonight I made enchiladas. So I had gotten, okay, this is an almost entirely food bank meal. I had gotten a can of enchilada sauce from the food pantry. And y'all, I have not made enchiladas in probably a couple of years for whatever reason. I don't know why. For a long time, it was because I was doing the low carb and couldn't have wheat. And then I found the egg life wraps. So yeah, anyway. So I took the leftover chicken from last night, which was from the food pantry. I mixed it with a can of drained and rinsed black beans from the food pantry. With that, I added in a little bit of the enchilada sauce. Then in each of the pans, I put a small amount of enchilada sauce in the bottom. And then you put some of the enchilada sauce in each, or some of that mix of the chicken in each of the tortillas. And the tortillas were from the food pantry. The egg life wraps weren't. Those are from Aldi. But then you roll that up and put them in the pan and drizzle the rest of the enchilada sauce on top and bake that at 350 for about 25 minutes. Then you throw some cheese on the top and bake it for another 5 just to melt the cheese. So, yeah, these look and smell delicious. So these are regular tortillas, and then these are the Egg Life wraps, and then I'm just going to pull out some salad and have with it. So that is Tuesday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday night, and tonight is the meal that I went ahead and changed because we got all that lettuce. I was supposed to make egg roll in a bowl. But this is completely fine with my entire family. We're having big salads. So big salads is a great way of getting your kids to eat greens because you can let them pick and choose whatever toppings they want. And I usually just kind of raid my pantry and pull out whatever I happen to have on hand that would go good on top of a salad. So tonight we have, this is 3 chicken thighs frozen from Aldi. There's some eggs from the food pantry that I hard boiled, and I will let the kids decide whether they want it whole or cut in half or chopped up. Lettuce, some wisps from the food pantry, raisins, honey mustard dressing. I will put that recipe in the show notes because it's a good, easy honey mustard recipe. A thing of shredded cheddar cheese, some crackers, some bacon that has been living in my freezer for a long time, and I have just kind of been skimpily using it, and yes, I overcooked it. And then I've got a couple avocados that were in my refrigerator that there are 3 of us that like avocado on our salad. So that makes for a nice, fairly quick and easy dinner. You could add sunflower seeds, nuts, dried cranberries, whatever it is that you like on your salad, feel free to add to it. But then it's just nice because I will call the kids in and say, okay, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? And then they get to pick and choose. So that is Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Thursday night, and tonight I switched up what we were going to have. So yesterday night I said that I had changed out having an egg roll in a bowl, and we were having big salads instead. And I was supposed to make broccoli chicken Alfredo tonight, but it just didn't sound good to any of us, so I made egg roll in a bowl. I had all the stuff for it, so why not? So for this, sorry, I was grabbing my sauces. For this, I just browned up a pound of ground sausage and a pound of ground beef. And then I added in a whole lot of cabbage and 1 very giant carrot. This is something that all of my family really likes, so I don't mind having leftovers because I will gladly eat this for lunch and then leftovers on Sunday. So yeah, I was fine with that. Then I added in some garlic, some dried ginger, and some soy sauce. This is really, really simple. It's a really simple one. So from there, if you aren't low carb, you can serve this over rice and it's delicious. And then we get these sauces from Aldi. And they have other flavors. I know they have a teriyaki and an orange. These are just our favorites. The kids all like this one. I like this one. These are not super low carb. It is 6 grams for 2 tablespoons, which isn't bad, but that's pretty much all sugar and some nasty oils. But the Bang Bang is spicy and a little bit goes a long way, so 2 tablespoons is actually plenty for a big bowl of this for me. You could also just completely skip it and do some extra sour or soy sauce or something along those lines if you want to spice this up a little bit more. I just do really basic because we're just going to throw some sauce on it anyway. So that is Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes that's homemade, sometimes that's store-bought. Almost never is it takeout because we live too far away from takeout for them to deliver to us, and it's just so much cheaper to make it at home. Tonight we did frozen pizzas because my kids have actually been asking for frozen pizzas because it's been so long since I made them, and we were in town getting blood results today. And so we went ahead and stopped at the grocery store. Blood results, just real quick, we'll do a side note. My vitamin D levels are great. My B12 levels are great. So that is not where the energy issue is coming from. But my ferritin level is low, which did not surprise me. And my T4 of my thyroid is quite low. So I am going to start researching how best to go about that because I really don't want to be on medication for the rest of my life if I can help support my thyroid and make it function the way that it's supposed to and get my body functioning the way that it's supposed to. So I do have a doctor that I saw before that is a natural doctor, and he helped me before, and so I will probably end up going and seeing him again. You know, money out of pocket, but thankfully we do have my husband's health spending account through his work, so hopefully that doctor does take that. So all that being said, yeah, frozen pizzas for the kids from Aldi. I made Chaffels for me. That is a low carb cheese waffle, and I just added pepperoni and some oregano to it to make it pizza-esque. I will probably not eat all of that. I don't know, maybe I will. Then I've got green beans. I also have a package of asparagus in the oven that needs to come out. And I've got salad. So I will let the kids pick and choose, have them pick like a couple of vegetables. Whether they choose salad and green beans or salad and asparagus or yeah, whatever. So tonight is also dessert night, the one night of the week that we for sure have dessert. And I went ahead and pulled out one of the boxes of I'll think of it here in a minute. Those double chocolate stuffed cookies, and I'm gonna throw those into the oven here in just a second when I pull the asparagus out. So that's what they will be having. I will probably have, if I want dessert, I will have yogurt with some sugar-free chocolate chips and some peanut butter in it. Is usually what I do. So that is Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Saturday night, and Saturday night I usually make a pretty big meal, kind of traditionally what you would have on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. So tonight we were in town yesterday, and I picked up some groceries. I did not film that just because we were all tired and hungry when we got home. So I found this package of pork shoulder steaks, bone-in, and they were discounted 30% off, which made them a little over $6 for all of that. So I thought, okay, that would be a good splurge meat for a Saturday night. This will obviously feed all of us plus leftovers for tomorrow. This is the leftover green beans from dinner last night. I'm tired. I was not in the mood to make a big meal, and my little one was being extra cuddly right at the time that I needed to be making dinner, so I went with the cuddles over making a fancy dinner. So only like 2 kids picked green beans last night, so there's quite a bit of those left over, so I just pulled those out and reheated those. There's salad because we're still working through that lettuce. I have some different toppings to put on it. And then this is the rest of the leftover cheesy spaghetti squash from Monday, and I just smooshed that down in the bottom of the pan and threw some extra cheese on top and rewarmed it in the oven. So yeah, it was just I wanted to cuddle with my baby instead of being up cooking. So this is, if you're new here, this is the end of my week of cooking. I don't cook on Sundays. We try to take the Lord's Day and rest. Sorry if there's a bunch of noise in the background. My kids are on the front porch in the dark playing with a big bouncy ball in like 30-degree weather. They're weird. But yeah, so I don't cook on Sundays. I don't clean. I don't do laundry. We try to take the day off. So tomorrow when we get home from church, I will pull out all of the leftovers from the week. So there's some leftover enchiladas. There's obviously going to be leftovers of this meal. There's some of the cabbage roll in a bowl. So yeah, I will pull all of that out and let the kids pick and choose whatever they want for lunch. I let them make their own plates. Well, or I help with the little ones. And then Sunday for dinner, I pull out charcuterie board things. So crackers, cheese, dried fruits, meats, pickles, usually some kind of sweet treat like chocolate, nuts. Yeah, just like everything that you would put on a charcuterie board. I pull it out and I just lay everything out on the counter, and I even use paper plates, and I let the kids pick and choose whatever they want for that as well. And I usually end up leaving it on the counter for a while after dinner because I have at least 1 or 2 kiddos that go to youth group on Sunday evenings and get home at 8. Well, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And so I leave it out until then, and then they make their plates when they get home. So the little kids can go in and get seconds off of the table if they want to, and that's fine. So that is my cook week. Oh, I guess I should say I made like a marinade to put on this. It was like a soy sauce, a little bit of honey, and some herbs, garlic, nothing spectacular. If it tastes really good, I'll put the recipe in the show notes. But if there's any recipes that I need to this week, I have no idea. I can't even remember what all I made this week. I will put it in the show notes. And that way you guys have them. If you want me to type up how to cook anything in particular, let me know and I will. But yeah, that is our week of dinners. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.